As New Year's inspiration goes, it's hard to beat out our latest Paralympic champion's path to gold.
Hi Insider SA, I'm Pieter du Preez. Welcome to my space. Really excited to have you guys join me for the day. Sport was a huge thing in my life, already being semi-professional before my accident. And it being a bicycle accident, it was all sport related, everything. So I want to say my journey with para sports started already when I was still in rehab, and it started with what's called wheelchair rugby. The clubs was then, there was always spare chairs, so it was sort of easy to get into it. But the seeds were already planted in rehab by friends who showed me videos of paraplegics who actually do triathlons. That started the whole thing about maybe I can be the first quadriplegic to do triathlons, even though I was told I'll never be able to do them. Basically, quadriplegic means you've broken your neck, and depending on what level, that determines how much movement you actually have. A C6 quadriplegic, which is what I am, means that I can only move my wrists, my biceps, and my shoulders. That's the only function that I have. I cannot move my fingers at all. It just looks like I am when I use my wrists, and then obviously from my chest down, completely paralyzed. But on top of that, I think the things that people don't realize is you have limited to no feeling also over the rest of your body. As quads, we can't get our heart rates up. And then also you don't sweat, temperature regulation. All of those things are things that are against you on a race day. So a typical week would be, I'll probably go swimming 2 or 3 times a week, and I'd normally swim about a 3K swim. And then I would do 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 sessions in the racing chair, anywhere between an hour and 2 hours. And then on the bike, I do a lot of training on the indoor trainer as well as on the road. But yeah, I mean, it could be anywhere between 10 and 15 hours of training with my hand bike and obviously doing different kind of sessions. I got a nickname Super Pete at varsity, and today that is Team Super Pete, and that is my wife and my 4-year-old son now, who travels everywhere with me. Most of my training sessions, they will be there, maybe not all the time, but helping me. But I mean, there's certain things like getting in and out of the pool and those things, you know, they're always there. So yeah, it's a special support structure I have, and I'm very privileged that my dreams became their dreams.
The mettle of this Ironman was clear the day he came to the attention of occupational therapist Ilse du Preez.
I actually met Pieter after his accident, and as an occupational therapist, but also just as me, he really intrigued me from the very beginning. So we kept in contact and we really became good friends during his rehab, and then we just continued with that friendship afterwards. And that then turned into something more, and now we've been married for 13 years, so it's been an amazing journey and lots of adventures together. Pietman is 4 years old, so he takes a lot of time and he wants a lot of attention. But it's amazing, he just makes things work. He's really become part of the team. So he really enjoys working on Dad's bike and training with him. It's amazing how a little 4-year-old can be so part of a team in all these things we do.
Fatherhood, I think anybody who has kids can tell you it's a big change in life. And for me, just a big change of how I think about things. And the best way I can describe it is now when I go down a downhill at 90 k's an hour, I do think twice about it because I am responsible for a little guy.
For all Pete had come through, life was not about to cut him any slack en route to the Games.
The lead up into this Tokyo Games, it's an interesting story because, I mean, first of all, it was supposed to be 2020. Then COVID happened and there was all these uncertainties and we never really knew, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? What are you training for? Are you sure you're still working towards it? So I kept myself fit. My coach and I, you know, you sort of went on to a maintenance kind of training rather than a focused training building towards something. But yeah, then a crazy thing happened. I fell out of my day chair and I broke my shoulder. I completely dislocated the AC joint, and then the coracoid process is a bone on the scapula snapped off completely. It's the worst shoulder injury you can actually get. And right then, I must be honest, it was a career-threatening injury. But not just that, you know, I wasn't even sure whether I would ever be independent again because they had to put a plate in there. You know, that was a mental game in itself. And again, just amazing how the team effort between me and my wife and my son, you know, how we managed to make it work. And I mean, this is going to sound funny, but when I broke my shoulder, despite all the doubt, somehow I just felt the Tokyo 2020 Games is going to be my games. Being on the road, the freedom of being on the road, the adrenaline of going like 90 k's an hour down a downhill, and just how you and your bike are just one machine going through those things, and you know the limitations of how fast you can take that corner, and that freedom, that adrenaline, that unity, and the fun of racing your bike. This is a very special medal, and it's a gold medal at our Paralympic Games. This gold medal was actually a dream that started when I was 6 years old. I was always, since then, praying and dreaming of winning a gold medal at the Olympics. Fast forward, then I break my neck, so that dream changed to Paralympic gold, and all the lead up, Ironmans, Robben Island swims, the challenges, breaking your neck over the 35 years leading into this Tokyo Games. And then when I finally crossed that line and I was told, you've got that gold medal, there was tears. Luckily I had my sunglasses on. And the emotions of just all the effort and all the sacrifices and going out and then doing it. And I mean, then you realize this is not my medal, it's our medal. And the privilege it is to create so much excitement and hope in our country during this time that we find ourselves in. You know, for me, that's humbling, and yeah, I don't even know if that describes it, but those were the feelings of joy and emotion and just everything culminating and sitting behind this gold medal for me. Thanks, Insider SA. It was a great day together. See you soon.
Pit, you've lit a flame to drive all of us this year. Get more of the Insider SA online. Follow, connect, engage, and be inspired to live better with the Insider SA. Watch the show Monday evenings at 5:30. Repeat Saturday at 1 on S3.